Hi there and welcome back to the channel. My name's Elizabeth and today we're going to be talking about 15 differences between a rich mindset and a poor mindset. And so the purpose of this video is to give you control and to give you a choice and to let you see that it's all about our mind. And so in real estate investing, people will tell you it's 90% mindset and 10% execution. And so this is true. This is true in every area of life. A lot of it is about your mindset and how you approach things. And so I just wanted to share the differences between the rich mindset and the poor mindset so you can figure out how to get that rich mindset. Let's do it. All right, number one, rich people create their own life. Poor people allow life to happen to them. So I've talked about this so many times, playing life on offense and being intentional in your life. It's critical. We've all heard the phrase, make it happen, right? We can make it happen every day in our lives. It is our choice. It is our choice and it's our ability. We're able to. Poor mindset people will wake up in the morning, check their emails, turn on the news, and they've already let other people decide their day. So be in control of your day and to start controlling your own life. All right, I love this one. Number two, people with a wealthy mindset, they play to win. They don't just play not to lose. And so poor people play not to lose. And this is a critical distinction. And so, for example, if we were in sports, you wouldn't just send out the defense and then expect to win the game. You can maybe tie, right? You can maybe do okay. You might not lose, you might tie, but you're not playing on offense where you can score and you can win. And so you really want to make sure you're playing to win. Be prepared, be intentional, and do the actions required for success. Number three, another critical mindset shift is that the wealthy-minded think, how can I afford this? How can I make this happen? But poor people or poor-minded people think that I can't afford this, right? And so you want to start shifting this with yourself and also with your kids. Instead of saying, oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie, we can't afford that. You want to say, hey, like that's a lot of money and I'm not sure if we can afford that yet, but how can we afford that? What do we need to do? Because there's probably something you can do. You can go out and earn more money. There's so much money out there in the world. And so this is a critical takeaway from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki's famous book. I highly recommend reading it. It's a great mindset shift book that is really helpful. But the wealthy decide what they want and then they determine the resources that are needed to acquire what they want. So believe that, think, how can you, not I can't. Number four, this is really critical as well. And I think a lot of people have it stuck in their minds. And I've even seen this like with different school districts, like maybe in your county, there's some really wealthy schools and maybe some other schools that are in poorer areas and stuff. And so a lot of people think that the rich are evil and they only think of themselves. But number four, rich people think big and the poor think small. And so this is a poor mindset. This is a small mindset to think that rich people are just evil people. I've met so many rich people and they're good people. I've met a lot of poor people and they are actually really rude and judgmental and aren't kind. And so it's not necessarily about the money, right? Of course, money can corrupt you. Of course, that can happen. But of course, being poor can do the same thing. So the truth is that there might be a few bad apples. The majority of the wealthy people, they consider a reach well beyond themselves. And they've done a lot of work. But I hate to say it, but the poor-minded, they think small and they may think only of themselves. And so wealthy people, they think big. They think about who they can help, who they can serve, how they can use their gifts to make something different in this world and to create something that can help instead of only thinking about themselves and only thinking that everybody else just magically did this or they're bad people or they must be mean, etc. Number five, the rich overcome while poor people or the poor succumb. So in sports, we witness the best people. They have a heart of a champion. You've probably heard of that. And they overcome. You've seen that when quarterbacks or Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, they end up winning the game. Of course, their players do as well, but they don't stop. We know that the game is not over until it's over, right? And so keep going, keep believing, and stay in the game. If you give up and you succumb to what has happened or what's been dealt in your life, then you're not going to get it. You have to keep going. You have to persevere. You have to believe that you will get it if you keep working for it. Number six, rich-minded people focus on opportunities and the poor focus on problems. And so getting rich is not easy, contrary to popular belief that it isn't just handed out to you on a silver spoon. Most people aren't trust fund babies, and a lot of people actually have built their own wealth, right? Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Bill Gates, he was very fortunate to have a computer in his school and was on one of the only schools that had a computer, but still he had to do the work and he had to learn and he had to build up his life. And so success is full of obstacles and twists and turns, and it takes a special person to be able to do that. And you all have that in you. It's really the special part is this mindset. It's the skills, and it's being willing to not act like everybody else and to be willing to say, hey, I can do this and I can overcome. And so poor people will almost do anything to avoid anything that looks like a problem, right? So stop avoiding the problems and stop saying that, oh, well, it's going to be really hard to make a lot of money, or, oh, that's going to take a lot of work, or this has happened, or I didn't have this opportunity or this. And that is all a poor mindset, and that is not going to serve you. That's going to keep you poor. And so leave that in the past, leave that today, and decide to make a change and to say, hey, I have the potential within me to make a choice and to make changes, and I can do it. Number 7, rich people have a positive attitude and the poor have a negative attitude. It's as simple as that. And so if you want to create abundance and richness and wealth in your life and good things and happy relationships, all of the good stuff, you have to have this good mindset. You have to be positive. And it doesn't mean that everything's going to go great all the time, because it's not. But you choose to grow and you choose to learn and you choose to think about the good and to focus on the good and to know that the problems are just a part of life and it's a part of achieving success, and that's okay. And so be careful. Have you ever tried going one day without complaining? Maybe try this and see, how much are you complaining? How much are you thinking? Is your brain thinking about negative stuff? And so you want to have this hope. You want to have courage. You want to have faith and believe that you can overcome and that you can achieve wealth and success for your life and for others. And a little extended, so Think and Grow Rich is one of my favorite books. I highly recommend it. It's got so much information on shifting your mind and believing in the mindset. I think that's a huge thing, so I highly recommend it. But Napoleon Hill, who's the author of Think and Grow Rich, actually said, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And so you've probably heard this, what you can believe, you can achieve. If you believe, you can achieve. And this is actually true. You might be like, yeah, right. But I actually believe that. And most wealthy people, and the research has shown that you can. And so it all starts in the mind and with what you believe. Number 8, the mindset of the rich focus on rewards, while the poor mindset focuses on the risks. And so yes, there's risks with everything. And I am going to be doing some videos on the importance of taking risks and why risk takers actually end up being more successful and prosperous in life. But instead of looking at like all the potential downsides and letting that prevent you from doing stuff, you take risks. You take calculated risks, and rich people are willing to take those calculated risks because they look at what the reward could be, instead of like, oh, well, this bad thing could happen, or this, just like riding your bike. Oh, well, you could get hit by a car. You could do this. Yes, that could happen. But why don't you wear a helmet, and why don't you be careful and just go try? Because there's lots of people who ride their bikes that don't get hit. So go try the thing anyways. Number 9, similarly to number 8, a wealthy person will think about what will go right if I do this, whereas the poor person will think about what might go wrong. So yes, I can do this, and I think about what are the possibilities, what are the good things, what are the bad things. But at the end of the day, wealthy people, they think about what will go right. So you want to think about, hey, if I make this investment, this is what's going to happen for us. Or if I take this risk or put myself out there, this is going to happen. Or if I start a business, this could happen. Or if I help this person, this could happen. Or if I go out and I ask this person on a date, I could end up marrying this person, right? So put yourself out there, take those risks, think about the good things instead of like, oh my gosh, if I ask this person, they're going to think I'm so stupid. Like, that could have been your wife. That could have been your husband. So don't be afraid. Go for it. Number 10, those with a wealthy mindset focus on solutions, and people with a poor mindset focus on the problem. So there's going to be problems all the time, but you want to see the problem and go, what are the solutions? How can we solve it? And how can we get there? It will help you so much in your life to be a problem solver and to not just be a problem dweller. Number 11, something critical that I found and that I absolutely love and I think is so cool in life is that the rich continue to educate themselves throughout life when school stops. The poor stop learning when their education stops. And so I love this. Like, I'm a teacher and there's curriculum that we have to teach, but what's so cool is that you get to, even if you're in school, when you're outside of school and outside of school hours, you can learn whatever you want to, right? And some courses and classes actually let you learn whatever you want. But after school, you get to decide the curriculum. You get to decide what you learn and what you want to invest in and what you want to do. And so do that. Always learn. The world is constantly changing. You want to keep changing and evolving and learning and growing still. You don't have to just go, oh, I stopped at high school. That's all my information. Oh, I stopped at college. Oh, I stopped at a doctorate degree. You get to keep learning and growing. It's up to you. Number 12, the wealthy-minded do not fear taking risks, whereas the poor-minded live in fear. And so we've talked about this, right? The poor are just looking to survive. And they're like, how can I survive? How can you do this? And that's important, but you have to figure out how can you thrive? And you have to take risks to get there. Number 13, the rich make their money work for them and the poor work for their money. So this is critical. This is so important. And I highly recommend you just listening to this point or just remember this point if you don't remember anything else. But your money's got to work hard. I made this mistake when I saved my money since I was like 12 years old or younger in a bank account. And I actually saved a really good amount of money, like a lot. But it was just in my savings. If it would have been invested and it would have been working for me, investing your money makes it work for you and helps it compound and grow over time and actually earns a higher interest and reward, then you're going to make more money, right? You want to find ways to make more money while you sleep, passive income. You want to have assets and buy things that can work for you. You want to own things. You want to be the owner, right? And so having this mindset shift and just being aware of it, even if you aren't there yet, it's so critical for success. Number 14, I just exposed this, but rich people put their money in investments and investment accounts, and poor people put them in savings accounts. And so, hey, if you're a poor person, at least you put it in the savings account. That is actually good. At least you're not just spending all your money and you're in debt. But if you really want to build wealth, you have to invest it. And lastly, the rich are proactive and the poor are reactive. So you want to play your life on offense. And I've talked about this so many times. It's super important to be intentional about your days, about your financial habits, about your health habits, about everything. And so the more you are prepared, I know I've seen this in my own life when I'm very prepared, even with my exercise routines and I have a planned schedule throughout the week and then I execute on it, I feel so much better than when I just go, oh, I kind of want to exercise and then, maybe I worked out here, maybe I walked there, but I don't feel as good and it's not as efficient. So make sure you're investing, make sure you are learning, make sure you're taking action on the things that you learn and that you know will help you in your life, and you're going to feel so much better for it. All right, so those were 15 things on how to think more in a rich mindset instead of in a poor mindset. And if you are thinking in some of the poor mindsets, that's okay. It's just awareness. Part of the journey and part of the problem is that we aren't in awareness. So at least now, hopefully you're in awareness and you know that, hey, I need to shift more to this rich mindset. Or maybe you've seen, hey, I have a lot of good mindsets about building wealth, and that's great. And so celebrate that. So thank you so much for being here. Let me know if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Feel free to let me know in the comments below. What takeaways do you have? Did you like this video? Was it helpful? What mindsets are you working on? Do you want more videos like this? Please let me know in the comments below. Feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this on improving yourself in your life. I will be sharing more videos on personal development, encouragement along the way, some life lessons, building wealth, tips from mentors, and things that can help you live a better life. So thank you so much for being here. You've got this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.